Hello, everyone. If there's music playing in the background, forgive me. My school just hosts these retarded, I don't even know what they are, these music things that convince us they're hip or something. But yeah, so if you can hear that playing in the background, my apologies. But this video is a response to One Up Network, which is a YouTube channel, a video game YouTube channel, or a YouTube channel that discusses video games. And specifically the video titled This Month in Misogyny, Exposed Minors, Hair Pulling, and Advanced Elephantiasis. I don't even know what that last part means, but specifically this is about one of their commentators, Bob Mackey. And this is one of these misogyny in video game commentators, one of these people that have no actual talent other than to point out things that they find offensive in video games that took thousands and thousands of hours of planning, drawing, programming. So essentially his only talent really is to tear down the efforts of others and point out supposedly offensive things in the video games that we all love. Now, in the beginning of the video, he does make a valid point in regards to a game called Neptunia, or it's one of those long-winded Japanese games that have like 10 words in the name, so I'm not going to go ahead and pronounce the whole thing, but he was making the argument that one of these games depicted girls, what were girls, basically in sexually suggestive clothing and poses. And I can understand that argument, and this video isn't referring to that. His argument was that this was contributing to the over-sexualization of girls. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm not here to discuss that. What I am here to discuss is the third video game that he talked about, which depicted a character named Ior or something like that. The video's in the description box, so the actual name of the character is really irrelevant. You can check that yourself. But Io or something, it was the character's name, and I'm putting up a picture of her as I talk about this. And as you can see, it's a fictional character who happens to be well endowed in the breast area. This isn't a surprise. We're talking about video games that are marketed towards 15 or 16-year-old boys and all the way up to male adults. But it's not a surprise that these characters are drawn in a way that accentuates the female form, or the specific parts of the female form that males enjoy. So he found misogyny in this, apparently, and I'm going to play the video clip, or just the audio of the video clip of his main complaint with it. And essentially he was saying that these type of parameters on the female form aren't likely unless you have some kind of corrective surgery to augment a woman's breast to be able to sit this way. He was pretty much making the argument that her boobs were too perky, too big and perky. And somehow that's misogyny. And I'll play for you, just so you can be the judge, I'll play for you the audio clip.
Round 3, this girl.
This girl, that is Io from Double Survivor 2, and she won this month's award for most unrealistically proportioned female character in a game. And as you can see, it's not uncommon for any kind of media to sort of idealize the male and the female form, but it's gotten to the point in games, especially Japanese games, where there's no way in hell this form could even be possible on a human being without severe surgery. And even then, I mean, if you look at the image, there's literally a flesh shelf protruding upwards at a 45-degree angle. That is not sexy in any way. It looks like some sort of weird alien body anatomy that I don't know. Someone thinks it's sexy, but it seems really inappropriate to me, and I don't know what it's adding to the game. But that game is full of designs like that, but that is probably the worst I've seen in Double Survivor 2. That was This Month in Misogyny. Any questions from you, Matt?
Now, this is the type of encroachment into video games that, and just like anything else that feminists infiltrate, this is the type of encroachment that generally ruins everything that it touches, and everything that once made whatever it is it's encroaching into great will eventually fall by the wayside to make room for PC dogma. The same creative flair that created these accentuated body parts on these female characters in these video games are also the same ones responsible for the excellent storyline, the excellent fighting engine in the video game, the excellent graphics. All of these things are inseparable from each other. And when feminists infiltrate they make these demands that everything needs to be re-engineered to fit around their specific view of morality and what's right to depict in a video game. And you know, in this case, it doesn't even matter that it's a guy. What you're witnessing here is a specific type of heterophobia, and personally, I suspect that the guy who made this video is gay, but that's his own business. The only reason I bring that up is because there is a particular variant of gay man that thinks that because he no longer is attracted to women, that the rest of humanity, the rest of male humanity, has to adopt his particular take on what is and isn't objectification of women sexually. But this falls under the wider scope of feminist infiltration into male space. It's about control, and it's about piggybacking onto things that they had nothing to do with from the very beginning. I've made videos in the past talking about things like Comic-Con and how it used to be dorky and nobody wanted any part of it, and after pretty much a bunch of men got together and built that up to the point where it's a phenomenon now, that's when feminists are making demands that these comics are sexist and that they depict women in a derogatory fashion. It's just a bunch of unearned bickering that takes away from the artistic beauty of the creation itself. Some of these comic books and the artwork involved, or the video games, some of these are amazing achievements in storytelling and character development and all that kind of good stuff. This is the type of thing that you can expect. Whenever men get around and create something, it's only a matter of time before feminists infiltrate and start making demands without actually contributing anything to it. And to be honest, it's pretty sad that this is even allowed to go on in the first place. Notice that there aren't any prominent feminist comics or video games or whatever the medium we're talking about. And that's because it isn't entertaining. Nobody would buy it, nobody would view it, nobody would play it if it was a video game. So their only option in order to gain more control isn't to create their own quality product and then make their argument there through their own medium. They have to butt into everybody else's work, everybody else's hard-earned product, and dictate to everybody else what is or isn't offensive. Honestly, who is this guy to try and tell, who probably isn't even into women, to try and tell others what is sexy? Why don't you let heterosexual men decide exactly what is sexy to them in the female form? Anyway, it was just pissing me off, and I think that these type of instances should be recorded and documented. I mean, you know, these no talent complainers that don't work for anything, that don't create anything, I think they should have absolutely no say in the creative process of any video game unless they're programming it, writing it, designing it, thinking up the characters on their own. It's just another example of feminist interjectionism and hypocrisy. That's all I gotta say.